A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, according to the title of this race, we are not in Kansas anymore, but I've got some troubling news for anybody that's happy about that. We are most certainly in Kansas. And just outside of Kansas City, in the Kansas part of it, no less, in the shadow of the Hollywood Casino, welcome to Kansas Speedway for round number 12 of the 10th season of the Venom Truck Series. Getting ready for 134 laps here tonight with just 4 races to go in the regular season. A lot on the line here after it's all said and done this evening. It's Tommy Cook. It's Matt Williamson, partner. This is a very dynamic mile-and-a-half track. Always a lot of fun under the sun here in Kansas.
Yeah, this is one that has kind of become a little bit of a favorite of mine when it comes to the mile and a half. So I think, with the refresh, the trucks race really well here. Pretty much most of the cars actually race really well here. I think it's become one of the ones that some of the drivers look forward to as well. You can run a lot of different lanes here. They'll change, especially if the track's a little bit warmer. You know, the lanes, you'll start running the bottom, then you can go to the top pretty quick if you want to. So a lot of options here. It's a fun one for the drivers.
It's a tale of 2 columns on our points graphic after 11 completed rounds. Left side of this graphic is got to be feeling pretty secure at the moment. The right side, not a chance.
That's right. Let's take a look at it after the whooping that Brody Gunter put up on the field at Portland. He has put himself tied for 4th with Chad Stearns. Matt Schlosser, of course, still atop the points right now. He doesn't seem to be going anywhere soon unless he really has a couple of bad races here. John Kay still there in 3rd. Andy Poliski staying solid in 3rd. He's kept up his good run in this season. Josh Matichak, Zach Lockett, Andy Ducato, as you mentioned, there on that left-hand column. Jan Van Leer still feeling pretty good. He's 23 points to the good right now. But, with only a few races left before this cutoff, Garrett Rainey only 4 points to the good. He is not feeling good for sure. Josh Freed as well, 4 points behind there. And then you got Paul Ellison, Kyle Zittel, Austin Holyfield, Jack Watts, all trying to make that late season push to try and make the chase here for the Nathan Reynolds Cup. Especially for Freed and Rainey, they have a tough task ahead of them there tonight. Freed was really good at the beginning of the season, and he's just kind of tempered off a little bit. He's going to try and get some momentum going again here at Kansas.
I think Freed has been doing okay recently, but I think it pales in comparison to the run that Garrett Rainey is on right now. Rainey is very consistent of late. When he's had problems early in the races, he has overcome them. So Rainey is on the up and up. Freed is on the up and up. Paul Ellison also, he's missed a couple of races. He's actually the only driver right now who is below the, I guess, the 10 race allotment for the full point standings right now. He's only on 9 starts, so he's gone over his provisional allotment. And he's still right there in the mix. He's just been putting together some outstanding races of late. So we'll look for that to continue from Paul Ellison. We'll see if any of these other drivers can find a little bit of momentum heading into the final 4 of the regular season, including tonight. Next week is at Monza. I don't know why we clumped the road courses so close together, but we sure did. The other races after that, Legacy, Phoenix, and Indianapolis. So, yeah, I don't think any one driver has a particular advantage over anybody else headed into the racing action over the next 4 weeks.
Thanks for the girl.
Let's go racing at Kansas Speedway. And with the pole position here tonight, it is going to be Andy Ducato. He'll take his second career Tech Tape pole award, his second of the season as well. Still with the rebound from a rough Portland last week. Hayden Palumbo qualified on the front row at Las Vegas as well. He'll start on the outside pole. Chad Stearns is on a roll. 2 wins in his last 3 races, including the All-Star race as well. It'll be Brody Gunter, last week's whooper, who will start on row number 2 on the outside. Garrett Rainey, the aforementioned, on a roll. He starts in 5th with Jan Van Leer to his outside. Josh Freed, last time out, on a mile and a half, got a podium finish. He'll start in 7th to the inside of the defending Kansas winner, John Kay. Lucas Carver, another Kansas winner, starts in the 9th position to the inside of Andy Poliski. Paul Ellison and Kyle Zittel on row number 6. Matt Schlosser and Corey Rutherford on row number 7. Steve Roman and Joshua Rutherford on row number 8. Jordan Journeau, Brandon Gandy, Tyler Berger, and Zach Lockett round out the top 20 starters. Row number 11 is Eric Breeding on the inside of Cole Maxwell, who's back for the first time in a couple of weeks. Austin Holyfield and Joshua Matichek on row number 12. Row number 13 is Gary Clark on the inside of Pascal Samard. Oh, did I skip Austin Holyfield and Joshua Matichek, the Mississippi boys there on row number 12? Cade Cannon is back after an absence as well. Mark Ossier is back off of his suspension. He'll start in 28th. And RJ Star-Civic, a late addition to the lineup, will roll off from the 29th position. Matt, what do we got for the weather conditions here? It looks like a lovely day wherever we are. It can't be in Kansas.
Yeah, let's take a quick look here. It looks like pretty sunny. 96 is the track temperature right now. If we get any sort of shade, that could definitely come down because it's only 76-degree ambient temperature, pretty much in full sun at this point. So track temperature could cool off a little bit if we get a little bit of clouds here later in the afternoon. We're looking at 134 laps around Kansas here tonight. 3 sets of tires, no faster pairs as always. Drivers looking at a couple stops here tonight. We'll see if we can get some green flag running. I think that's when this place is at its best.
Certainly no argument for me on that one. Pace truck is off. It is Ducato and Palumbo on the front row. We're not in Kansas anymore, but we are green. No advantage, decidedly into turn number 1 for your top 2. Double file all the way back as they continue to drag race it out.
Would it be possible to get a black flag cleared? I got knocked on the pit road.
There goes Ducato clear here. Stearns, Gunter, and Palumbo 3 wide for second.
Ducato now going to move it down to the bottom in front of Stearns. Palumbo, pretty much the only driver in that top 5 or 6 consistently running the top right now.
If you remember from our previous races, this track, they will migrate up to the top lane at some point. But early on the run, these drivers want to keep these trucks maybe a little bit free, keep the pressure off this right rear tire. Hugging the inside is the way to go. Palumbo, though, does not have a choice. There is not a hole to put that 35 truck into.
Oh, shout out to Jeremy McKinnon. Apparently, some settings have changed. And driver chat is live. We're going to turn that off because nobody wants to hear that. Sorry about this, folks.
Good to get it out of the way now before something goes wrong.
Yeah,
However.
no kidding.
That's a great heads up there from McKinnon. Appreciate it, Jeremy. Hello to everybody that's hanging out with us here this evening.
You know what? We're just going to turn it off for right now. We'll worry about that later.
You're not missing much. Ducato's still leading. Stearns firmly in second. Gunter to the inside of Palumbo, who is doing just about all that he can on the outside here to try and hang on to a spot in the top three. Garani in fifth, and they are doubled up behind him.
And that is Gary Clark peeling off as they are pretty darn close together. They're a little bit further back. Jan Van Leer, Paul Ellison, John Kay, Lucas Carver, Kyle Zittel, Josh Freed's in there. Everybody getting after it, trying to make up a few positions here.
And while that was going on, Brody Gunter hit the apron, got underneath of Chad Stearns, and Stearns is now going backwards. Oh, Stearns with Lucas Carver washing up right behind him.
I think
with Jan Van Leer to his inside.
Yeah.
I do want to say I misspoke a second ago when I said Lucas Carver's a winner here at Kansas. It's a winner in Las Vegas, not at Kansas. Similar track style, though, coming off of a good finish last week at Portland. I think single filing out a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to single file out for now, but once we get a little bit deeper into this run, I think you're going to start to see some different lines being used here.
Gunter, meanwhile, going to have a peek to the inside here. He's got the run down the backstretch, but can't make it work. Gunter a few weeks ago at Las Vegas had the win on lock. I mean, for all intents and purposes. Until the final pit stop, he came down pit road and was too fast. So he'll try to get past Andy Ducato here and get that third win of the season. Ducato looking for his second after a maiden Venom Truck Series victory at Talladega.
Here's a look at the car inside camera for the 01 while he's working on Ducato here.
Up the track, he's got Palumbo drifting up behind him as well.
Whoa, John Kay way down the racetrack further back. Oh, and then slides up in front of Free. That was close.
Freed and Schlosser, teammates there. Repping quarter panels. Here's Garani getting after it underneath of Hayden Palumbo. Now, Palumbo, to my understanding, is now a member of Insert Coin Racing. Because I think Michael Dean has called it a season. But Palumbo himself was ditched by a teammate that left the series, so joins ICR. I think he fits in with that bunch as well. I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, relationship or two formed to maybe land there at the Bristol takeover as well. So you know, sometimes those real-life connections come to fruition on the sim.
Networking on vacation. Imagine.
Yeah, that's pretty much all race car drivers do. Always trying to find that sponsor.
Carver was keeping pace with Colombo and Van Leer, but he hit the wall down the backstretch last time. They are all bunched up behind Carver now, with 3 teammates getting after it. That's Zittel, Ellison, and Kay. Freed is in that mix. So Polisky and Schlosser and a whole bunch of other people. So they continue to run 3 wide.
John Kay right up on that wall outside of Kyle Zittel. Here's a look at Zittel and Carver.
Wow. John just got a huge run. I mean, that's literally the Larson line at Homestead. I mean, he is neat and tidy to the outside. Well, a little too tidy there.
Yeah, into the wall that time. They see that inside of middle lane, get a run on him there after the contact with the wall, and Freed trying to get himself clear. This is getting wild back here.
Now Ellison jumps up in front of Kay. He's going to get a bumper for. And there they go. Jordan Tourneau headed to the inside wall. He will make some contact as Kay and Ellison get crossed up with the block. The caution is out. Well, Paul saw how big of a run that John was getting there. I don't think he realized how big that run was. That is caution number 1.
I mean, those guys were really getting after it there. I mean, I don't want to say that was a foregone conclusion that something like that would happen, but you could kind of see it in the intensity of the drivers. They were really scrapping for spots there. Let's take a look at the replay. And part of this kind of develops from Kay getting up into the wall just a lap before this. And you see Ellison pulls up in front of John. John's going to give him a bump. I think he was just trying to push him down the backstretch. I mean, that is something that happens pretty often at these these mile and a halves in the trucks, but maybe just a little bit off center, or maybe this setup isn't really great for pushing, but turns Ellison down towards Zittel. I mean, Ellison is taking a ride on the wall here. This is Journeau, who, I mean, he cranks the wheel to the right and just makes some contact with the rear of the truck. I mean, that was it might be a little bit of contact with the front here. No, I don't think so. That's a pretty darn good job to keep from getting more damage than you really need to there by the 84. Let's go ahead, take another look back. Let's go on board here with John Kay. Let's see how centered. This isn't right. That's not John Kay. Let's try this John Kay. How about that? Yeah, and they were still just coming off the corner. They weren't really quite to the straight yet. And John said, well, if you're going to pull up in front of me while I'm going 15 miles an hour faster than you, then you're going to get a push down the backstretch. That just didn't quite work out.
Yeah, it's right at the moment where that truck is going to start to load back up, or I guess unload from the right side. So it's a little light. That was a pretty big shot. I mean, Kay he'd surged out ahead the lap before. And then you're right, in 3 and 4, hit the wall to put himself right back into that mix. So Kay and Kyle Zittel lead a handful of drivers down pit road, but Zittel is the lead driver that came into pit. Matt Schlosser, Joshua Rutherford, Tyler Bergert, Eric Breeding, Cole Maxwell, Pascal Simard, and of course Paul Ellison and Jordan Jornell, along with John Cade, down pit road to get their various damage fixed. Gary Clark will get one of his laps back. I guess if driver chat was on, you heard that he got turned onto pit road as the field was taking the green flag. So he is, I believe, now going to be 3 laps down as he had to come down and get some damage fixed on top of that. So we have had only 3 cautions ever at Kansas before tonight. So this is Kansas caution number 4 all time. We'll see if they'll continue to stack up from here. Coming to the restart on lap 19. We're back underway. Oh, that inside line checked up pretty hard. The buck stops with Andy Poliski, though, as Ducato's able to get a good getaway. You can see that split in the middle of the field from Josh Freed on back.
Oh, Gunter.
Gunter trying to get to the outside of Ducato. Rainey and Stearns battling hard behind them. Jan Van Leer in that mix as well. So once these guys get up to full song down the backstretch, we'll see if anybody's going to try and play the games now up on the top side of 3 and 4. Because there's some ground to be made, but like Jeremy says in the chat, it's going to be hard on those rubbers.
Yeah, I'm curious also to see, I mean, some of these drivers further back took tires. Maybe either that or they just came in for fuel, but I would imagine there's got to be a couple that may have taken a shot. See how that plays out here. I mean, outside the top 10 is just unbelievably packed up again.
And with varying tire strategies, like you mentioned, that is not going to help the congestion whatsoever.
It almost makes it not worth it to get those tires. I mean, if you can't get through the traffic, you're kind of wasting the advantage that you were trying to get, and then you've lost a set as well. So, I mean, if you're going to take it, you got to try and make it work as quickly as possible.
In theory, the lead driver on that strategy would be Matt Schlosser if he's got fresh tires.
I mean,
he's going to send it up the middle 3 wide.
If he's making moves like that,
into the wall.
You would think that he probably does.
Yeah, he'll go from 3 wide middle to 3 wide inside. Gainey going to roll out of it.
Oh, yeah, he's moving right now.
Yeah. Just nursing those tires up to temperature, and then we're going to zap the life out of him right away. But he's into the top 10. Meanwhile, 2-truck breakaway at the front. Andy Ducato now with Brody Gunter behind it. Ducato is not content to ride. Less than a truck length behind as Ducato is loose, and Gunter has got the ground on the outside. Looking for a little out to in here. See if he can get a big enough run out of 4. Not quite, but Gunter is not content to ride.
Not really. Yeah, I was going to say, not really in his nature pretty much anywhere. Look at this. Schlosser 3 wide around the top. Swings it around Palumbo and Carver. So Schlosser into 6th place now. But only 2 sets of tires left.
And the intensity is picking up, not only because Ducato and Gunter see Schlosser getting closer, but Gunter is not happy with how he's being raced. He just made that very clear over the radio.
Thank you, Jeremy. Here he goes, Gunter to the bottom.
And Ducato going to send it straight to the wall. Here comes Schlosser into the picture to the outside of Rainey, but Schlosser is coming with a head of steam as Gunter takes over the race lead. 01, 02, 04, nose to tail through the tri-oval.
And 05 is not that far behind either.
Where's 03 when you need him? Here's Schlosser. Seen a lot of bouncing around further back in the top 10. There is a truck in the wall. It's Paul Ellison. I think we're going to stay
Not
green.
again.
Unfortunately, Ellison was trying to make hay on fresh tires, just like Matt Schlosser is. Schlosser will take the lead.
Now,
Stearns and Rainey door-to-door behind them.
now what does Schlosser do in terms of tire save, fuel strategy? I mean, he is on a completely different trajectory strategy-wise than these other drivers behind him. He's kind of out on an island because there were some other drivers that took tires. That would be Eric Breeding and Kyle Zill, but they're in 7th and 8th. I mean, they haven't made up as much ground as Schlosser has.
John Kay also in the 13th position on the fresh tires as well. So those drivers are bubbling up to the surface, but Matt Schlosser is leading the bunch at this moment in time.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if those drivers that are further back might just really be trying to be careful and make sure they get a lot of life out of this set because they know they only have a couple left now at this point really early in this race.
I mean, if this goes green, Schlosser has just bought himself a huge lead and will not have any tires at the end of the race as Carver and Kay.
Yeah.
Woo.
Kay coming to life on the outside, and Carver about got into him there.
Pascal Simard will pick the meat off the bones there and get Carver, and he'll go to work now on Zach Lockett. Good to see Pascal into the top 10.
Here comes Chad Stearns underneath the Ducato now, along with Eric Breeding and Kyle Zittel.
As soon as Ducato got in that dirty area, he started to go backwards.
And Breeding and Zittel on the fresh rubber trying to push their way through. Stearns is going to close the door.
Zittel run in the middle, going to take a run back to Breeding, see if he can get Deputy Sheriff clear, but Breeding has put his lefts into the dirt, and he'll drop a couple, but he'll stay running.
That was a slide right there.
Woo! Them Duke boys here in not Kansas, dropping the lefts in the mud. Zittel, meanwhile, take it off. There he goes around Chad Stearns, and Kyle Zittel, the decent one, is up to third. I mean, Matt Schlosser already has a 3-second lead on Brody Gunter. He has checked out.
Zittel up to third, looks a little bit more relaxed this time around than he did at Portland last week. He really had the face of pure concentration last week at Portland, which I don't blame him, of course, but much more in his element the 53 is here tonight.
Just be happy there was no camera on me last week.
Oh,
that's all I have to say.
But there should have been.
No. If I wanted a career after the race, it should not have been. Oh, by the way, what's that? You know what I'm talking about. What is that?
What's a career?
No.
Oh.
Well, yes, but on Kyle Zittel's head, what is that?
Oh, we don't need to bring that up. He's done a full heel turn. He's dead to me, honestly, is what he is. Yeah,
well,
everybody.
I can't say much more than that because he might be my boss someday, but not Kyle Zittel, the other one.
Everybody take a good look. I'm a little backwards because I do love some dirt racing, so I should be on board, but I just can't be. I'm sorry. Sour grapes after the end of the NASCAR season. We're looking forward to what they're cooking up next year.
Most certainly. Amen to that. John Kay and Eric Breeding now clear on Brody Gunter. Gunter back to 5th. And looking at the lap time, Zittel a little bit quicker than Schlosser last time around, but he is getting reeled in quickly by John Kay. As over the radio, Jan Van Leer from 12th says he's coming in this time.
Interesting.
Lap 35. Palumbo will follow. So ICR drivers coming in. A couple of them anyway.
So, I mean, this kind of makes me think that everybody, I mean, at least those drivers are maybe going to use all 4 sets, and that's what their scheduled stops are going to be. I mean, well, when I say all 4 sets, the starting set plus
The one they started with.
Yeah. Yep. So, not to confuse anybody there. I think some of these other drivers are going to try and save a set for them to do that. They'll have to go an extra 10 to 12 laps on each set probably to make that happen. But, I mean, you see drivers like Staccato, Rainey, I mean, they're starting to drop here right now.
The other thing you'll notice is shade over the racetrack. It's quite cloudy all of a sudden.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that at the top of the broadcast. That, you know, I mean, the track temperature wasn't real hot. I mean, it was warm, but, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. The ambient temperature is pretty cool. And, I mean, the track temperature actually has somehow gone up a degree with shade, so never mind.
Well, I mean, the Venom Truck Series, anything in the double digits, you might as well grab a parka. They go for 120 to 130. Worth pointing out, Jan Van Leer on fresh tires just clocked the purple lap, and then Hayden Palumbo took it from him. 30.52 compared to a 32.34 for Schlosser.
Jan also got out much quicker than Palumbo did, so Jan Van Leer had a much better pit stop, it looks like, than the 35.
And those two were running inside of the top 10 before the first caution of the day.
I would love to see this thing go green. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that this thing could play out, and I want to see them all.
It's been a while since we've had a classic Steve Vroman strategy, throw it at the dartboard kind of race. See what these drivers can cook up.
I want to take a look at Zach Lockett here. I mean, Lockett has not come down pit road. He is not on fresher tires, but here he is. He saved his tire a little bit better than Staccato has. Staccato is moving backwards. Lockett on the same strategy. Couldn't quite make the pass, but he's making some ground here. He's up 9 positions.
So just to point out, nobody has pit since Jan Van Leer and Hayden Palumbo came down. Mark Ossier will try to make it onto pit road, but he has clipped the cone, and that will be a stop and hold penalty for the 17.
I think the window for the rest of these drivers should open in about 3 or 4 laps. So those drivers looking to break this race into thirds should be looking to come down here pretty quickly. Lockett still not able to get around Staccato here. You've seen that the line for these drivers on the older tires has migrated to the top of the racetrack. Lockett with a big run here. He'll take it down to the bottom of the racetrack, down the front stretch.
Trying to get all he can get before pit stops here momentarily. They're about at the end of the fuel window, even with a couple of caution laps sprinkled in there as Staccato is up into the wall. Just a little kiss. That will send it back to Corey Rutherford, who is absolutely flying right now.
Oh, look at this. Jan Van Leer flying through the field.
Oh, that's Jan Van Leer, not Corey Rutherford. Saw a 5, and I was like, yeah, that's Corey. But you're right. That is Jan. Absolutely shaking and baking right now. Cole Maxwell is down pit road.
Yeah, I mean, this thing's going to open up pretty quick. Oh, is Pascal nearly got up into the wall there. Garrett Rainey will make his way through. Pascal, we think, is on a newer set of tires as well, so it's interesting to see a driver on much older tires at this point and Rainey be able to make that pass.
Yeah, I'm going to say Pascal probably burned him up trying to get up into the top 10. Rainey and Ellison both on the older tires. Ellison has been ping-ponging off the wall. He was, of course, involved in that first accident as well. So Ellison, just him and Rainey both have had a very savvy sort of season. They have not given up, no matter the circumstances, and have come away with good finishes. And
More pit stops.
I mean, Garrett hasn't. Oh yeah, here comes Monacek and Holyfield. Joshua Rutherford on pit road as well.
Sorry to cut you off there.
Oh no, that's fine. And Garrett Rainey, speaking of which, he's coming down pit road. Lucas Carver is going to follow. Zach Lockett coming as well. A handful of drivers going to make their way down here on 47. Is
not going to make
Carver.
it. And he's off in the grass.
I think he did make it on speed, but
no way.
We will see if
I don't see that he has a black flag.
I don't either.
Wow.
We'll see if that little dip in the grass is going to cost him, though. Sometimes they sneak those penalties in on us.
I thought for sure he was going to be speeding. I mean, he came in with a ton of speed.
RJ Sarcevic also, and Chad Stearns is coming to pit road.
Little wiggle there out of Stearns as well, trying to get her locked down, but gets in there safely.
Yeah, no penalty for Carver. He's off and away.
Boy, he got pretty lucky with that one.
Yes, he did. He might be the first one to tell you that.
Oh, and Joshua Rutherford was in the chat asking if his luck could change. Maybe he must have gotten a penalty on either entrance or...
Interesting. Eric Breeding is in. Again, he was one of those drivers that took fresh tires under the last caution. So he pits with Andy Ducato and Cade Cannon.
Also need to really note that Brody Gunter has been able to keep pace with John Kay up to this point. Now Gunter is going to pull down and come in. But Gunter on 16-lap older tires was able to stick with the number 2 there. Of course, Kay did have to come from deep in the field and had to burn the rubber up a little bit. But, I mean, that is one heck of a drive from the 01 to be able to save that much tire.
Gunter is in, Freed is in, Gainey, Vroman, Poliski, all coming down pit road here on lap 50.
So that is everybody except for Corey Rutherford has now come down pit road. So, I mean, about 50 laps is pretty much all that could push it. We also had a couple of caution laps in there as well. So, just under 50 laps, it looks like. Rutherford was able to push it one more.
Andy Ducato is had an improper pit exit from the looks of it. He's coming back down pit road. As Corey Rutherford now will come down pit road. Jordan Giorno says he's pitting this time from the 7th position. That will leave just the top 6.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We're starting to get into the point that those drivers, like you mentioned, that came down on lap 16, they are still pitting with some of these drivers that never came down. So, I mean, these drivers basically have wasted a set of tires to try and get track position before this next round of pit stops. And I don't want to say waste because it worked out. They got the track position, but just a much different strategy than the other drivers were on.
Well, it worked out particularly for Matt Schlosser and Kyle Zittel. I think John Kay was backed up against the wall with the caution and all that. So he might about break even, but Schlosser and Zittel definitely have vaulted themselves into much better spots. Now, if they can pick off the spot where they cross over, and don't leave themselves too much work on the back end when they have to come down here in about 15 laps or so.
Yeah, I mean, right now, based on those numbers for fuel that we just saw from the rest of the field, they should be able to get to around lap 65.
But do you want to run that long on much older tires? I mean, we're talking 32.5s to 32.7s for the drivers on the older tires here. Everybody else are running the high 30s, low 31s. I mean, they are getting absolutely blown away.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they want to make this work as well as possible later on in this race, I feel like they do need to try and make it, I mean, to the very least at lap 60, probably, which is only in a few laps. But, I mean, if they can make it to around lap 65, they'll have 2 35-lap runs, basically, which is pretty much perfect for a nice, solid, don't have to save too much tire type of a run. I mean, they wouldn't be able to make it all the way to the end on another set. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out.
I don't think we'll get to where the lights are going to be on at Kansas here, but we're certainly getting later into the early evening. Track is continuing to cool. Shade rolls in and out of virtual Kansas Speedway. Catch us for the Daredevil Series tomorrow night at Bristol. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It's the playoffs start for the Max v CNC Home Designs Truck Series on Thursday night. And we're dirt track truck racing Friday night here on Turn 200. We'll catch you for the Dirt 200 special from Knoxville. Friday night here on Turn 200.
Might see one of us in the field. You never know. And by one of us, I mean the one not broadcasting?
Yeah, I would say it won't be me. I'll be up here.
So John Kay has started to reel in Kyle Zittel. Zittel was actually putting time on Matt Schlosser just about 5-6 laps ago. And now Zittel has started to move backwards a little bit. He's now lost about half a second to Schlosser and backed up to John here.
Here's Brody Gunter going by Kay and Zittel. On this lap as well, Gunter blew past Hayden Palumbo. I mean, Gunter is the only driver on track that is in the 30-second bracket right now. He is ripping some real heaters at the moment. He wants to be as far ahead of Matt Schlosser as humanly possible when Schlosser comes down pit road here in probably the next 5 to 10 laps.
Yeah, the one thing that Brody has going for him is he's setting himself up where he only has to make one more stop here, and he'll have an extra set of tires left. Schlosser is going to have to pit twice and will have no tires left at the end of this race.
I mean, what are the odds there would be a caution with like 3 to go?
I don't know. You want to ask how the rest of the season's gone so far? I mean, we're starting to get single filed out where it would really take it would take a real mistake for somebody to bring out a caution that late, probably, as Brody Gunter is going to unlap himself.
So that gives us 7 trucks on the lead lap at the moment. Jan Van Leer right now would be in the lucky dog position. And I mentioned Hayden Palumbo getting gobbled up pretty quick by Brody Gunter. Remember that Jan and Hayden pit very early, lap 35, if I remember correctly. They came in much earlier than everybody else, so they're struggling a little bit for pace at the moment. They're running 32.5s. Only a little bit quicker than what Matt Schlosser is running at the front of this field. Schlosser last time around ran a 32.7.
Keep an eye out for looming pit stops here as Garrett Clark, some number of laps down, will work his way around Garrett Rainey. Zach Lockett, Lucas Carver battling for position along with Chad Stearns. And Andy Ducato is in this mix, but he is a lap down after the pit road incident that gave him a penalty.
Looks like Pascal Simard is slow in turn number 1.
Oh, Kay is going to make the move on Zittel, so Kay will move into second. Get himself a little bit more track position here before pit stops. Here comes Paul Ellison. So for this group that came down on lap 16 and pushed it as far as they can, Ellison has triggered the undercut. Let's see what Schlosser does here. Schlosser coming in to make a stop. Has to make it clean. Not super aggressive, but look pretty decent.
Good enough. And to point out as well, Pascal Simard out of turn number 4 was going to be in this group that was going to pit. But his truck just lost power. Basically rolled from turn 4 all the way to the backstretch, and he went towed. So I'm not sure what happened to Pascal. John Kay's coming down pit road.
Yeah. That was tight. Kyle Zittel going to stay out for another one here.
Kay pushing it there on entry. Looked pretty clean.
All right, let's see where Schlosser comes out in comparison to Brody Gunter now. Schlosser just coming off of pit road down through turns 1 and 2.
Seemingly pretty far behind.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Gunter is in turn 1. Here comes Kyle Zittel.
Good stop for Zittel there. That leaves only Tyler Bergert left that came down on lap 16, still out on the racetrack.
It's a 50-lap run for him. I imagine that truck is pretty well dry at this point.
Look at this battle. Garrett Rainey, Jan Van Leer. Jan, of course, on those older tires, as you mentioned. Trying to keep a little track position here. But Rainey will throw it underneath. Take the spot away. Rainey up to third. And it will be second here in a moment as Bergert, way too quick on entry into pit road, spins it. So strategy is all for naught there for the 44.
Matt Schlosser is in the 16th position, but he's about to pick up 2 as he's flying up on Matichek and Gainey.
The gap from Gunter back to Schlosser is at 15.5 seconds right now.
That's a big lead.
It is. Now, Schlosser has the benefit. I mean, he can't just go all out. Like, he still has to save tire a little bit. But, I mean, he's basically got 2 35-lap runs. I mean, he can pretty well push this thing almost as hard as he wants to.
Yeah, man, Lear's getting ganged up on right now. Carver, Lockett, Stearns, the lap to Ducato, all getting by the 5. And Jan says he's coming to pit road this time. He tries to call it out to Eric Breeding. Jan will hit the apron.
Owen!
Ooh. He made it, apparently.
Wow.
Palumbo follows.
Yep. So they're basically on the same strategy as Schlosser. They're going to take the same number of stops, just a little bit later at this point. And they'll be well behind on the strategy game.
Well, their bed is made.
So that brings Schlosser up to 7th. He's made a couple passes and then a couple drivers down pit road there. His gap to Gunter is now 9.5 seconds, so he's made up 6 seconds in about the last 7 laps or so.
And he's made 10 positions as well. First up will be Eric Breeding. And then he'll hit this long line from Rainey to Lockett with the Lapper Ducato in the mix.
By the way, I got to give Bailey what she came here for. Josh Matichek hasn't been up on the screen yet. Let's take a gander at the man.
The crowd goes wild.
Got to put the paint up there for a moment as well. He's in the middle of trying to nurse an older set of tires. Kyle Zittel coming on through. Steve Vroman also coming through on a few lap fresher tires. Able to hold off the 0-0 for now, though. As let's go take a look. Schlosser has made the pass on Zach Lockett.
And I think Carver hit the wall out of turn number 2. Ducato just zoomed past him, and Schlosser going to follow suit now. Ahead of them, Stearns and Rainey are fanning out. Punching a nice big hole in the air for Schlosser. Looking to get up to second.
Rainey slides a little bit there off the exit of 2. And look at this. Schlosser's just going to wrap the bottom.
Put it wherever it'll stick.
And now has a clear racetrack up to Gunter. 9 seconds is the gap. Let's see how quickly he can make this one happen. Further back, Matichek still in the middle of this battle. And as he's blinking a little bit there.
Whoa. He's loose. Damn.
Palumbo on fresher tires is not wasting any time.
No. So that will cost Matichek a spot to Corey Rutherford as well. Corey in the top 15. For 4th, here's John Kay on Garrett Rainey. Kay is motoring with fresher rubber.
Yeah, and Kay only 2 seconds behind Matt Schlosser, so Kay has made up a second on the 04 since their round of pit stops.
Ellison, Breeding, Zittel, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Zittel gonna sneak through EB and Mark Ossier. Ossier is out on the freshest tires on the track right now, so 17 should be rolling through here pretty good.
John Kay finally able to get clear Stearns. Kay will move up to 3rd. Matichek, Rutherford, and Froman still all battling together.
No, just knocked the wall down in turns 1 and 2. He is rolling very slowly. Headed to pit road now.
Here comes Kyle Zittel and Paul Ellison on this long line of drivers inside the top 10. As Zittel will get by Carver. And now goes to work on Garrett Rainey. And that one is complete.
Jan Van Leer on fresher tires, but a lap down. Watching the gap up front, Schlosser's made up 3 seconds on Brody Gunter. John Kay only a second and a half behind Schlosser at the current moment. Things are going to get tight here before this bigger group has to come back down pit road for what should be their final stop.
Yeah, I would imagine that a lot of the drivers that came down around lap 50 are probably going to be eyeballing around lap 90, maybe 95 for their next pit stop. Those other drivers on the alternate strategy might just be coming in not too much later, around lap 100, I would imagine.
Real quick before we get to pit stops, do we want to be the first Venom Truck Series team to commit to Ram for next season?
I mean, are we going to get it in iRacing is the question.
I would think so.
Quickly, I should say. Are we going to get it quickly?
Yeah, they're kind of busy. I don't know. If it's here by season 11, I think we should
for
commit
it.
to it now and then maybe back off.
Hey, I mean,
Let's just say we were first.
We're going to be a budget team. I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
Dodge is the budget truck, so there you go. At least on the roadways.
Well, we're going to get a lot of funding from them after that, huh?
Shout out Stellantis.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I used to. My very first truck was a Dodge.
My first 2 cars were a Dodge and a Chrysler.
There you go.
Yep. Hopefully we get an extension on our powertrain warranties. Anyway.
Well, I tell you what, on a 2004 Dodge Dakota, that ship has sailed a long time ago. Eric Breeding in the middle of a battle here with Freed. And they're both on pretty similar tire strategy. And Freed is going to take that one away from the 26. Puts Freed up into the top 10. Shout out Alley Hill, cheering on the one and only John Kay.
Kay is closing on Schlosser. Schlosser's stall, or his charge is petered out a little bit. He's got the 5 seconds in, just kind of held serve. Kay is now a second and a half behind Schlosser. Meanwhile, Kyle Zettel has his hands full with Chance Stearns.
I'll tell you this, for Schlosser and Kay, that's not great for them that Gunter is able to stay that far out front. I mean, they really needed to make up this time on this round, on this run, I should say, because on this last run, I don't think their tires are going to be that much different. So if they can't get a little bit closer to Gunter, it's going to be tough sledding to try and get that top spot. Stearns way up on the top side here, trying to get the momentum.
Andy Polinsky coming down pit road. Polinsky, though, running down to the 18th position. Not quite the day he's been looking for yet. We'll see if this is what gets it in gear.
Stearns continues to pound the top lane here. He's gotten to Zittle's bumper a couple of times, but has not been close enough to really make any moves, but also might just be trying to stick with them and ride this out to pit stops. Speaking of pit stops, Garrett Rainey in from the top 5.
And he'll bring Eric Breeding along as well. Lucas Carver says he's coming this time as well. Corey Rutherford will be pitting from the 11th position. Carver from 7th. And Cole Maxwell coming in as well. Oh, there's the penalty for Lucas Carver. Too fast entering.
Dang. I mean, that one looked...
Didn't get it last time.
That one looked way more tame than the last one.
Yeah. I think maybe it's a makeup penalty. Joshua Rutherford is in.
RJ Starswick down pit road as well.
I mean, that's just the season that Lucas Carver's having. I think he's got 3 top 10s. He's had some bad luck races and then a couple of mistakes like that as well that have just sort of zapped the life out of his season 10. Zach Lockett is in. Stearns and Ellison battling hard as
Stearns is going to make his way down.
Stearns is coming in.
From the very top of the racetrack.
From the wall.
Smokes him getting in there, but should be okay. Teammate Josh Freed is coming in as well. There's Gainey. There's Holyfield. There's Matichek. It is wide open. The door is open, boys. Some drivers that came down a little bit later trying to make it a few more laps.
Holyfield, one of those drivers like Zittel and Ellison that needs to pop that 20-plus bubble and get themselves closer to the cut line. Ellison and Zittel are doing all that they can tonight, but we haven't really mentioned Austin Holyfield all that much. We'll see where this is going to put them as they all make their way off pit road.
Schlosser is not made up a ton of time. He's about 4 seconds behind Gunter now. But, I mean, at this point, Gunter, I think, is basically just going to mirror Schlosser's pit stop. If Schlosser comes in, Gunter will probably be in right thereafter. And, I mean, I don't think there's much of a chance to catch Gunter then at that point.
Jan Van Leer and Hayden Palumbo are going to come in again. And to your point, they will be out of tires. They have come in twice since Schlosser's come in the last time.
Yeah,
But this is going to get them closer to being back on sequence, though.
Yeah, I just don't think this turned out like they thought it might.
Sometimes.
I mean, those are two guys that had, top 6, top 7 pace. And I feel like they'll be lucky to get into the top 10 at this point. We'll see. We'll have to see how it shakes out.
An old inside joke meme came in my brain at that moment in time. Figured it was best not to finish that sentence, especially not with a Russian accent. Here comes Brody Gunter down pit road. Gunter, much better. He will not cost himself this race on pit road. Steve Roman also came down on this lap. Andy Ducato is in.
So now I'm curious. I'm wondering if Schlosser will just try and push this as long as he can, maybe hoping that a caution comes out.
It's not impossible.
I mean, he will have to come in again. But, I mean, he does have, I mean, he could probably go another 15 laps, I would think, on fuel.
Jan Van Leer on fresh tires. Purple lap. Hayden Palumbo, just like last time, steals it right away. 30-51. It's burger time on pit road. Tyler's coming down. Track temperature continues to drop down to 90 degrees.
Let's see. Oh, he nearly did it again. Able to get it corralled that time, though. The 44 is much better stop.
Jan Van Leer again.
Caution is
as
out!
the caution is out. It's Lucas Carver around in the tri-oval, and boy, does this change everything.
Wow.
Oh, baby. Now, here's the lay of the land right now. Brody Gunter is the lucky dog car, and that puts him 5th. Gunter will be at the tail of the field, and there will only be 5 trucks on the lead lap, depending on who takes the wave around here.
That's insane.
Big breaks for Schlosser, Kay, Zittel, and Ellison.
Let's take a look at
Caution for the
this.
second time.
Yeah, let's take I mean, this is an incident that just changed everything here. Carver with Clark up top. And they make contact. Carver tries to save it. Just not able to. We'll take another look at that here. See if we can get maybe a bit of a different angle. I like this one.
Now, I will say Clark was pretty clear on the radio that he was going to be a little bit off the pace. Remember, he had to make a pit stop early. Accidentally took a set of tires. He said, I'm just trying to make these tires last till the end of the race. I'm going to stay high.
Yeah, I think Carver... I mean, to me, Carver did get tight a little bit and came a little bit up the racetrack, but, I mean, there was room for the 8 to, hold it a little bit closer to the wall there. I mean, to me... there's got to be a little bit of situational awareness with, the car that you have on your outside there. I think I'll just leave it at that. So,
Well, that certainly throws this race for a loop.
yeah, I mean, Gunter will take the wave around. I should say he'll be the lucky dog. He'll get to come
Yes.
down pit road. These other
My guess
drivers-
is that we're probably going to extend this caution as well after the 1 to go lap. So we got a little extra time.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a ton of drivers that are going to be able to get a wave around here. They're going to be on older tires, but they will be on the lead lap still.
Now, I say this every time that this happens, where a driver, any driver, gets the lucky dog.
What is this?
Now, okay, so they're going to give everybody the wave around here. Gunter, because he's the lucky dog, has to line up at the tail of the field. My question is he going to line up at the tail of the field in 5th, or are they going to make him go behind the wave around drivers, behind all the wave around trucks, which would be to putting him all the way to the tail of the field?
And he didn't come down pit road either, which I think he would have done already if he came when the pits were open.
It wouldn't be an issue. Yeah, it wouldn't be an issue if there weren't so many wave around drivers. Lucky Dog is supposed to be the last driver in the lineup, but with an extended caution, then iRacing protocol would dictate that Gunter would go behind all of them, and he'd basically be giving up position to every single driver on the track. It sounds like they're going to let Gunter keep his spot where he should be. We'll see if that actually happens, though. There are a couple of lap down drivers that are trapped in the mix here as well, but Gunter is in the 5th position. And then the wave around should line up single file behind Brody Gunter. And Chad Stearns is confused. He left his spot where he was supposed to be in line. And now he's just going to the back of the field. I don't... So confused.
I think everybody. I think there's a few people that might be a little confused.
And now we got other drivers pull it out here. I just, if you get the wave around, tough. You don't need an extra lap. Just don't need to extend it.
Okay, now Chad's gonna go get his spot back.
Yep. And that's right where he's supposed to be, right there. He was right there the first time.
I mean, the lights are still off. We are going green here.
Yes, we are going green. Whoever else that was that dropped out of line lost a ton of spots. Here we go. Matt Schlosser's the leader. Of course, everybody just got a black flag. They'll all be cleared. Not worried about that.
Caution is out.
And the caution, I'm assuming, because nobody's gone around, that Garrett Rainey was probably trying to hit the clear all button and instead hit the manual caution button. So that will nullify everything.
And
So they're going to try and shorten this caution immediately. Keep pit road closed. Yeah, that is the confirmation over the radio. They're going to just make this as quick as possible. So that's an inadvertent third caution of the race. So when things can't get more confusing, all of a sudden, there it is. All right, so now let's get back to the matter at hand here, which is now that Matt Schlosser and John Kay are on the front row. And Brody Gunter will be trapped in 5th.
Okay. So we should be doubling up this time.
Yeah, who knows? Definitely has killed the momentum of this race, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a mental reset for us. It's a mental reset for the viewers, but I mean, maybe to some benefit for some drivers, it's a mental reset for them as well. But for others that were, kind of in the groove, in the rhythm on their game, they have to reset for an extended period of time here. Basically, like almost, I don't know, maybe 8 caution laps, something like that. And I have to go out there and attack the racetrack like they were previously. Tell you what, driver starting on the outside. Row 1, John Kay. I mean, he's been utilizing this top side all night. And he's right there where he's going to have that lane option for the taking. Schlosser, I'm assuming, will get out to a good jump to start. But, I mean, I look for John Kay to get a big run off of turn 2 here.
You know what I say? It's time to eat, baby. Get up on that top side. Get them elbows out. Get some KC BBQ. Here we go. Good jump for Schlosser. Let's see where the chips are going to fall. Okay, Zittel, Ellison down on the bottom. We'll see if they stick to the bottom here in 3 and 4. Got a little bit of a run on Schlosser. Schlosser to the middle and down. Everybody else right around the bottom. Pretty orderly through the rest of the field, given the circumstances especially. Easy to get flustered or frustrated when weird things happen. John Kay just ran a purple sector, then Brody Gunter sniped it from him. But Gunter still with a couple lap cars to work through.
Gunter also on a... I mean, he ran maybe 2 or 3 green flag laps on that set of tires. Older than these drivers at the front, so have to kind of take that into consideration as well. But he just ran the purple lap.
Gunter with a 30-37. But he's got 2 lap trucks in front of him that are battling for the lucky dog. That's Zach Lockett and Chad Stearns. Well, battling for spots inside the top 10, RJ Starcevic and Corey Rutherford. Austin Holyfield, Joshua Matichek, all in that mix as well. RJ up to 8th.
Everything's still staying serve here. At the front of the field, you go further back there. It's a dogfight. Matichek looking to make up some positions here underneath the breeding. And Matichek gets clear. Here comes Austin Holyfield looking to get into the top 10. And he sneaks underneath the Vroman for a minute. Vroman trying to squeeze him down. Meanwhile, out front still, single file, the top 4. And then you got Brody Gunter, still has Zach Lockett in between himself and the leaders.
Gunter with plenty of time, though, as Lockett is not losing touch with the top 4. Lockett, by the way, running 15th. So only 14 drivers on the lead lap currently, back to Andy Poliski. Not sure if we mentioned Jordan Jorno in the chat. Fortunate end of the race for the 84. Lucas Carver also on pit road after the incident with Gary Clark. Looks like he is done for the night. Okay, is riding a truck length back from Schlosser. We've not seen anybody go up to the top yet. Are we saving the special sauce for a little bit later on in the run? Still 17 to go. And this track will continue to improve as the sun gets lower and lower. 7 o'clock local sim time. Here's Kay with a run. The defending Kansas winner getting after it late. Looking to lead his first laps of the day. Against her 3/4 of a second behind the top 4. Still not able to clear Zach Lockett. Maybe fading from consideration here with 14 and a half laps left. Here's Ellison with a dive to the inside of Zittel.
Ellison just not able to keep the run there on the bottom. Zittel uses the momentum on the top.
Zittel and Ellison having the exact kind of races that they need, making up points to the cut line.
Does John Kay have anything down the stretch here for Schlosser? How about Kyle Zittel? How about Paul Ellison? I mean, still 13 laps to go. That is plenty of time for the tides to shift and who is able to conserve some tire and who isn't.
Only one win for John Kay on the season. That was the season opener at Daytona. It's been a pretty quiet season for Kay, all things considered. I'd love to find his footing headed towards the postseason.
Yeah, quiet second place in the points.
Yeah, if ever there was such a thing. I mean, it's a quiet season, though, and the fact that he's only had 3 podiums to get himself that second place.
It's just been consistent. A lot of these types of runs here where he may not get it done, but he was right here all night.
And here we go. Coming to 11 to go. Kay is up to the wall. Looking for anything. Now the gap is up to 0.4 of a second.
I mean, Kay made a lot of ground up throughout this race here on the top side. He's going back to the old well here.
Brody Gunther increasingly looking like he is not going to be a factor. The question is, if Kay starts to chew into this gap, will Schlosser answer with a trip to the top side of his own? We've not seen the 04 up there. But you're right, the 2 is, I think, maybe scraped the wall there through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, he made up a lot of time out of turn 2, but then I think he touched the wall there in turn 3, and it completely killed his run.
So, was inside of 4/10, now is back to 7/10.
But again, yeah, I mean, he gets such a big run off of 2. I think it's hard for him to kind of gauge his entry speed and if he needs to lift there into turn number 3 because of the speed that he gets out of turn number 2. I'd be curious to see what a high side turns 1 and 2, low side turns 3 and 4 combo looks like here.
Personally, I'd cut it through the road course.
That's one way to shave some time off. Kay through the middle of 3 and 4 that time and didn't lose any time. That's the first time in 3 laps that he hasn't lost time in turns 3 and 4.
There you go. He's listening to his crew chief. And Schlosser, I think, awfully close to catching a piece of the wall there if he didn't add a 2. even in clean air. We've seen multiple times this season, even in clean air, these trucks can struggle for handling.
Meanwhile, behind them, Ellison still trying to figure out how to put a run together on Kyle Zittel. And then you have Zach Lockett, who is a lap down in 15th right behind them. He's starting to really close in on the bumper of Ellison.
Well, Zittel and Ellison, one of them is more than likely going to come away with their first podium finish of the season, as long as they don't bottle it for each other. Gunter has closed back in on Zittel and Ellison, but again, is not going to be in the mix here for the win without a caution coming to 5 to go. Here they go, door to door. Ellison rooting Zittel up. These two are fighting hard. They're teammates, they're friends, but more than any of that, they are competitors. And fierce ones at that. These two are not going to give an inch. Zittel may have to, though, as Lockett's going to get underneath.
Yeah, Lockett giving a little bit of help to Ellison here, but Zittel should get a good run off the top.
Three laps to go up front. It's all Matt Schlosser as there's the short slider from Ellison, clear by a whisker. Zittel to answer with a cross.
Zittel's going to try and answer, but if Ellison can get that big run off of 2, should be able to keep it here. Zittel is going for it.
Right up the track.
Oh, boy. Here
run.
comes Chad Stearns trying to take the spot away from Lockett.
If anything else, these two are plugging the hole for Brody Gunter, who has caught up to the battle. 2 laps to go.
Whoa. Gunter might have a shot at a podium still here.
More than anything else, Schlosser just wants these two to not turn each other, or anybody else for that matter. As he enters turn number 3, looking for the white flag. Zittel takes third as Schlosser takes the white. It's official. 1 to go.
Oh,
1.3 seconds clear of John Kay.
Zittel plugs the bottom here. All 3. Zittel, Ellison, Gunter now nose to tail.
Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be a 4th victory on the season for the points leader, the defending series champion Matt Schlosser plants his flag in Kansas. John Kay in 2nd, and Kyle Zittel on the podium for the first time in season 10. Ellison Gunter the top 5, Freed, Rainey, Modicek, Vroman, and Holyfield the top 10. And attaboy for the Mississippi gang. Modicek and Holyfield making good runs out of what looked to be mediocre days before that. Meanwhile, Schlosser getting some love from Zittel. His 9th career Venom Truck Series victory. Schlosser undoubtedly the favorite headed into the postseason as things stand right now. Takes his 4th win of the season, leads the series.
And he's going dirt tracking.
Oh!
What a slide.
Concussion City, baby. By the way, Schlosser gets his champions pick next week. We're going to Monza. How about that for good timing?
What layout? Are we going no chicane layout?
I think no first chicane.
No
You
first
still have the
chicane?
second chicane.
I mean, that's
I say
okay.
turn them loose on combined, but that's just me.
3 laps.
3. Yeah.
Schlosser is burning it down here tonight.
Yep, and we're done. All right, let's get to your full finishing rundown. Schlosser with his 4th win of the season, his first at Kansas, his 2nd on a mile and a half. Congratulations to him. John Kay is back on the podium for the 4th time this season. We'll talk to him. And we'll talk to the decent one, Kyle Zittel, with a more than decent podium finish for the first time this season. Paul Ellison, Bertie Gunter round out the top 5. Josh Freed will finish in 6th. Garrett Rainey in 7th. Joshua Matichek, Steve Roman, Austin Holyfield, your top 10. The 11th place for Corey Rutherford. It's 12th for RJ Starcevic, 13th for Andy Poliski, 14th for Eric Breeding, the last driver on the lead lap. 15th for Zach Lockett, Chad Stearns in 16th, Brantley Gainey in 17th, Jan Van Leer at 18th, Hayden Palumbo and Andy Ducata, your top 20, 21st for Joshua Rutherford, Mark Ossier in 22nd, 23rd for Tyler Berger, Kate Kane and Cole Maxwell, your top 25. 26 for Gary Clark, and then DNFs for Lucas Carver, Jordan Jordan, and Pascal Samar, 27th, 28th, and 29th, respectively. So we'll wait for drivers to pile into the interview room. I'm sure Kyle Zittel is doing some admin stuff, whatever those admins get up to in the immediate aftermath of a very interesting race. Here they come. And we'll not waste any time and bring the decent one straight into the booth. The hard-fought P3, first podium of the season for driver KZ53. Congrats.
Thank you, boys. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, you had great pace all night, first of all. The cautions and the extra caution as well sort of shook out in a weird spot, but a great spot for you.
Yeah, it turned out being pretty okay. I really didn't know how that was going to work out. Pitting that early, I had 51 seconds of damage.
Oof.
So I had to get that fixed up, and I almost didn't think I was going to be getting it all fixed. But luckily, I was able to do that and get out behind everybody and just kind of charge up to the front, following Eric there pretty much the entire time, all the way up until the tires started balancing out. And yeah, it was crazy. I ran that second stint. I ran out of gas on pit road. If I had to put the throttle down, it probably would have sputtered.
Yeah.
So ran that thing completely dry. And that last one was going to get cut in half. We were getting pretty close to coming down and pitting for that last one to split it in half. I remember last season, I think I did the exact same thing. And it worked out pretty well at the end. So I was going to try it again. Lo and behold, this caution comes out, pins a whole bunch of people a lap down, which, sucked for my own team and my teammate, for Garrett, he was motoring, and Luke got caught in a bad spot. He got caught speeding somehow. But yeah, it ended up pretty well for John, Paul, and myself, so it's a good finish.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the good run. A lot of things came together in your favor here, but I mean, at the end of the day, to get the podium and to get an interview, you had to go to battle there with Paul Ellison towards the end. I mean, you guys were getting after it. How was that one from the windshield?
Man, it was strangely enough not a lot of talking about it. I think he saw what was in front. I saw what was behind. There were a couple times it went. My 3 and 4 was not as good as his, but he was going to send it in there, and I was doing my best not to pinch him off or not try to do anything stupid to, hurt both of us, knowing that if Brody got by 2 lap cars, he was probably going to be passing both of us too. But man, it was great. He got me up the track, and I kind of thought that was the end of it, and he couldn't get the same pull on the bottom, he said, and off the top, and I cleared him back off the top, and I held him off, and that was fun for somebody you race a whole ton to race them that hard again, and do it clean, and that's what this is all about. That's fun.
I mean, having raced with both of you even one time, I 100% believe that it was completely silent in there.
Right.
But great racing.
I wore all the apparel I could to finish third.
Yeah. No comment. Let's get some shout outs in from the booth once again.
I just once again like to shout out my teammates, John, Paul, Garrett, and Luke. Racing with these boys every week is great and fantastic. Yeah, they're having a ton of fun every week. Like, thank you guys once again, everybody that comes out every week. As kind of the CEO, I guess, of this whole shindig. It's really nice to see. I mean, we got 30 plus guys every night, 29 tonight. That's still really good. So thank you to everybody out there that comes in, week out. Like, shout out my beautiful wife. Hopefully she's watching or not falling asleep yet. She's out of the house for the week working. Thank my folks at home. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'd like to thank the Mickey Mouse NASCAR playoff system for giving Rick Hendrick once again another championship.
Oof.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well,
am I banned yet?
No, not yet. I just don't think I'm going to call from NASCAR Media Group anytime soon. But
me neither.
All right. Well, thanks for the time as always. And thanks for everything you do. Good to talk to you. We'll hope to talk to you again next week in Monza. What do you think?
Is everybody else not going to show up? What's going to happen? Am I going to be able to run the oval and everybody else has to run the road course?
Honestly, I'm down for that. Give it a shot.
All right. That's the only way you'll see me next week. But 2 weeks, Phoenix. We'll give that a valiant effort.
All righty. Take care.
Thank you, boys.
Start the clock. John K in booth 200 here will take home the P2 here this evening. Welcome back to the booth. Congrats on a solid run here tonight.
Thanks. It was.
Go ahead.
It was something.
Well, I mean, talk about. I'll steal Matt's words in particular. Going to the well there late, we saw you ripping the top side at a couple of points during this race. It seemed trickier in 3 and 4 than in 1 and 2. Do you think this track is a little bit not concentric in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or is it just the speed differential from the big runs you were getting out of turn number 2?
It's definitely, the corners are very different. I feel like 1 and 2, the radius is a little tighter. 3 and 4 is more wide open. The track was good. Well, I'd say good. It was okay early, running the top, but just had to go to the top late because dirty air's awful. So tried, swung, hit the wall, normal John K shit, I guess. It's just is what it is.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a good run. I mean, early on in this one, you were involved in the first caution there. You made some contact with Ellison. You had a big run off of 2 in that incident. I mean, was the thought just to try and push him down the backstretch and get clear, and he just kind of got crossed up a little bit?
Yeah, that was the intention. I didn't go back and watch it. It was a thing. I was planning on pushing Paul. Didn't know we were 3 wide either. We had gotten a 3 wide call. I think when I went around him the first time, because I, hit the wall and set myself back behind him and Zittel again. And never got a 3 wide call. I guess we were 3 wide with Freed on the bottom. And I had literally no idea. Like, surprised we didn't die the first time. But yeah, I just kind of went to bump draft him, and I don't know if he tapped the wall just before I got there, or if he just wasn't done, if we just weren't as far out of the corner as I thought we were, or what. But glad I didn't hurt his truck too bad. Obviously, I was fine. But it still sucks. Like, just one of those deals. I'll probably have an EOL next week, which is fine. It is what it is. Like, can't. Sometimes you have that stuff. That's NASCAR, just running hard. Finally found something. That's when the top was working really good too. I had gone to it and it stuck really well. And but like for that first part to go green, I think could have made up a bunch. I say a bunch of spots. I could have made up some more room. It was a mess. So sorry to everybody that got tore up in it. Thankfully, didn't have any. I'm surprised I didn't have any damage. All ended up like right on my nose, and just.
I was gonna say I think the only three people that really took any damage were you and Kyle and Paul, and you guys finished second, third, and fourth, so it didn't seem to matter all that much anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to get us on the right tire strategy, so I figured I'd wreck the hell out of all three of my teammates because I'm just such a benevolent person. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I mean, shit happens sometimes. Trying to go fast. I was pissed at myself too because I hit the wall and lost those spots, so it was probably a little over anxious or overzealous on my part and just fucked up. I mean, it's.
We got a new nickname for John K. We have the decent one, Kyle Zittle, and the benevolent one, John K. How about that?
Yeah. So benevolent. I hit the wall again following Schlosser trying to win the race. So.
Well, it's good to get to talk to you once again. Let's get some shout outs in before we let you go.
Well, first I want to say shout out to Matt. Matt ran a really good race. Ran him down in the, since we wanted to talk about me wrecking 3/4 of the field and 3/4 of my teammates, ran him down to like, I don't even know. It was 3.1 when I got clear for second, and it was less than that after hitting the wall about 8,000 times. And then he kicked my ass in the second run because the top went away. So Matt did a great job. Always fun racing against him. Decided not to, the benevolent one, decided not to move him out of the way on corner exit. The one chance I'd have had to get a big run into 3 and 4 and try and take the lead. So, yeah, it's good fun. But shout out fiance Allie. She's awesome. I don't know if she's watching or not. I would hope not. I'm embarrassing myself again. Shout out my mom and dad. Shout out the whole team. Garrett, Paul, Kyle, Luke. Luke kind of got screwed and had a really good run taken away from him. So whoever assassinated the cone, just know if I have an EOL next week, your ass is grass. Shout out my boss who's on a freaking boat out in the middle of the ocean. He gave me my desk. Shout out my buddy Couch, going through a little bit of a rough time. If you're watching, Couch, love you, bro. Shout out you guys. And then shout out Chad and Jeff at the Tipsy Hog trailer at Eldora. If you go to Eldora next year, go up into turns 1 and 2, go to the Tipsy Hog, get you some good food. Their chicken's really good. Everything's really good. But tell them John K sent you. They let me sign the trailer, so that was pretty awesome. My signature is up there with the Lucas Oil late model points champion, Devin Moran. So pretty neat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
basically famous.
I mean, yeah. I'd say.
I'm not. Don't
are you going to make a full Lucas Oil run next year? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, my ass.
Well, whatever you decide, we're looking forward to it. But in the meantime, we'll go enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll hopefully talk to you again in good old Monza.
Yeah, I doubt it. We're probably going to start from the back and try not to wreck anybody again.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week. All right. Well, here comes Matt Schlosser. In for the 4th time as the race winner in season number 10. Second on a 1.5 miles, and the 9th of his career in the Venom Truck Series. Welcome back. Congrats.
Hey, thank you.
Well, it was a very interesting race, making the call there on lap 16 to bolt on 4 fresh tires. And, I mean, everybody eventually that got those fresh tires bubbled up to the front of the field. But, I mean, you took a couple laps, it looked like, to take care of the tires, and then you abused the absolute hell out of them from lap 3 onward. I mean, you were just setting a blistering pace, carving up through the field.
Yeah, I definitely was pushing. I just wanted to keep track position on Kay and Zittle and Ellison and those guys because I just felt like it was when you're in behind someone, it was pretty tough to pass. Dirty air was a major factor, and I was like, I want to try to get to the lead and let the clean air do its magic on taking care of my tires and stuff. And that was my plan. And luckily, I was able to get through traffic. Put some people 3 wide who probably didn't appreciate it, so I apologize for that. But I had to get going. But yeah, luckily that worked out for me.
And then, where did you envision yourself coming out if that one caution did not come out to sort of gift you the front of the field, I guess, because it was going to be, you were going to be in a somewhat precarious spot from our calculations. Where did you think you were going to end up?
So it was quite a like freaking calculus problem at times, trying to figure out what everyone else was doing and what I was doing. But I think I was going to be okay to finish on the podium unless I was totally missing something. But I think Brody had us covered. He just absolutely spanked us on pace, and even without the tire advantage that I had, he was just pulling away and then maintaining. So I think I was going to be good for something in the top 5, if not a little better. But yeah, the caution obviously came out, and Brody got sent to the back with that issue of the timing of it. And luckily for me, I had the lead, and yeah, it just was able to hang on. And yeah, John Kay obviously gave me a hell of a fight. I'm thankful the top wasn't working, because if it was, I think he's the guy that would have been able to make that work. So lucky for me to hang on there.
Matt, what you got for Matt?
Yeah, congrats on the great run. A little bit of luck fell your way, but I mean, you had a great pace here as well tonight. So, I mean, you had to beat out John Kay, who is a winner here at Kansas. So, getting that ninth victory. I want to ask you about next week. You have your champions pick next week at Monza. Have you heard any chatter from the drivers, and how are you feeling about everybody going to the road course next week?
I don't know. That was the one where I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to be reasonable with my picks, but this one's for me. And I don't know, some people might, I at least wanted to make sure no one had to buy a weird ass track. So I was like, most people have Monza from the All-Star last year on the oval. So, I think it'll be, for a road course, it's not as many turns as most others. And without that first chicane, I think, I think everyone is chicaned out from Portland. So hopefully it'll be fun blasting into that first turn at 180 or whatever it is. So I think it'll be fun. Hopefully others enjoy it. It'll be a worst case scenario. You can just go do some laps on the oval, right, until you get black flag. So, yeah, hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell Kyle Zettel earlier. He said the only chance he had to be up here next week was to go turn laps on the oval. And I think you could do that on the right-handed oval and probably not get disqualified. But, you got to watch out for that guardrail that sticks out there. I didn't want to tell him that, though. Let's get some shout-outs and 4th win of the season for you. Continue to storm away with the points lead here in the regular season. All things looking up right now.
Yeah. Shout out to Venom and everybody in the league. Shout out to the council and the admins for organizing everything. Shout out Turn 200. Shout out to the team. Nice top 10 for Josh. Zach and Chad had some bad luck with the pit cycle, but they had some speed, so shame they weren't up there, but good effort nonetheless. Yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, partner. Thanks for the time as always. Congrats on win number 9, and we'll hopefully talk to you again next week in good old Italy.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well, despite the rumors, I do have to say we are still in Kansas, and we never have left since we started this broadcast. But what I will say is Kansas, again, maybe not quite as dynamic as we've seen in the past, but a pretty interesting, very strategy-heavy race.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing that, we get a lot of green flag runs, longer green flag runs here typically, and I think that opens opens the door for a lot of strategy and, trying to figure out what you're going to do with the tires, where do the cautions fall, things like that. So, I mean, you and I always enjoy those types of races, and we haven't gotten many of those this season, so I think it was a lovely change of pace here tonight, and a good pace set by Matt Schlosser. Berta Gunter a little bit unlucky there. Like Schlosser mentioned, I do think that it was Brody's for the taking had that caution not fallen, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So I do want to give a shout out to Zach Lockett for the Dumbass of the Year award given to himself and his teammate Chad Stearns for pitting while they were a lap down. So shout out to those guys for having a lot of speed here tonight. Unfortunately, weren't able to quite show the result for it. But thanks to everybody else that was in the chat as well. Jordan Journeau kind of highlighting some of their team issues here tonight also. Shout out to Allie Hill, as John K. mentioned earlier. Joshua Rutherford, Jeremy McKinnon, thank you for letting me know that the radios were audible. That could have been interesting, to say the least. Shout out to Robin Modishek. Yeah. Shout out Robin Modishek, Nathan Reynolds, and Baylor Marie Modishek, as always. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that one. That was a fun one here. We liked it. We enjoyed it. And we have 4 nights of racing here on the channel here this week.
Yes, we do. Wednesday night, of course, tomorrow night, the Daredevil Series from Bristol. With some heat racing action. We'll catch you there at good old 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for that one. Thursday night, we will kick off the chase at Las Vegas for the Max V. CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Catch you there at 9:15 p.m. Eastern time for that one. And I have to double-check the time because I don't remember when we are kicking off the broadcast for the Dirt 200 special, but it is at Knoxville Friday night. As I should know how to navigate this. Apparently I don't. So we'll be on at 9 o'clock Eastern Friday night. Got 6 races coming up: Knoxville, I-55 USA, Bristol, Lernerville, and Eldora for the Dirt 200 special. That's NASCAR trucks on the dirt ovals. Going to be calling it dirt broadcast style. Excited for it. We'll hope that you'll join us either on the track or out on in broadcast lane. And that will bring us around to Monza next Tuesday night. We'll see you for the good old left and rights at the Monza Grand Prix circuit with no first chicane. So excited to get back to Monza. And thanks to everybody that was hanging out with us this evening. Thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson. Thank you to the Venom Truck Series admin team and the drivers and all that fun stuff. Until we meet again, from Kansas Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long. And congratulations to Matt Schlosser. 4th win of the season, the 9th of his career in the Venom Truck Series. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.